Hello everyone! I'm so happy you're all here. The channel has grown so much actually, and I'm really happy with that. But it's I don't know, I got like so many nice messages of you and people who follow me, so I wanted to do something back. And maybe you are like struggling with something, or you know, have a certain topic that you're healing, or you want a certain meditation on a specific subject. So just let me know, and I'm really happy to take that into consideration for like the next few videos, to make like a specific one for you that is also applicable to, you know, everyone else. Because in the end, our struggles are really universal, and that's the funny thing. That's why how stories, you know, that's the reason why stories work so well, is because the problems that we face are universal. They have, of course, they have different aspects to it, but the layers of our problems are universal. You know, if and that's the beauty of talking about your problems and sharing that, you know, in women's circles or in men's groups, or, you know, just sharing with your friends or with people you trust. And the funny thing is that we all believe we have to keep it a secret, you know. And of course, there's something to say about don't tell anyone, you know, who hasn't earned the right to hear it. And I really believe that. I mean, there is something as oversharing where you want to pay attention to, but most of the time when you feel safe and when you have people around you that you can talk to, there is a sense of shame that lifts off your shoulder, because often you're not alone in that. If you talk to enough people about your problems, there will always be someone who, you know, kind of carries that within themselves. And I think that's a beautiful way of actually being human. But we have to get rid of the shame though, guys, because the shame is what caused us to be lonely in our problems. And I really believe that trauma can be very, very, very much healed, and maybe even prevented, if we share what we, you know, experience, or what we feel, and that we can explain what is going on inside of us, instead of, you know, being judged for it, or having judgments ourselves about it. And when we judge, you know, it's projected onto you often. It's not even your own. But what did I want to say about about this? You know, when someone is judging you, or you even judge yourself, but often it starts with someone judging you as a kid, or when you are in a place where you don't know, you know, you're not really sure about yourself, because everything is new. And as a kid, pretty much everything is new. So you rely and you depend on the judgments of those, you know, those adults or those other people around you. And what happens is, when you have a judgment, and I really try to be as, you know, as conscious as possible to that, to not judge the people, you know, to not judge. And even though it's hard, and, you know, if I'm not a, you know, I'm not a hero in that as well, but I really believe that if we judge less, that there will be less trauma. And because judgments, that if you judge someone, there's become like you put some energy on them which is restricted. You know, this is what's allowed to be, and this is what not allowed to be. And in the end, you know, healing is ultimately allowing yourself to become free of that judgment, become free of the judgments that you put onto that circumstance, or you put onto that, you know, if you, for example, get bullied or something like that, there's so much judgment in that as well. Judgment about who you are, judgment about what is wrong, what is right, how you should be, what you shouldn't do. And we make it a truth, especially when we're young. You know, if you get bullied as a kid, it becomes eventually a truth in you. And it's not true, but it becomes a truth that you made. You where there's so much load and so much weight on that belief that it becomes a truth. And you know, so it starts with a judgment of someone else. And healing really is allowing yourself to be free of the judgment, allowing yourself to be free of that shame, allowing yourself to, you know, be free in general. So let me just feel whatever I want to share with this as well. You know, and in the end, we all want to be part of a society, of a group of people who love us. And that's the hard thing. You know, judgment, it excludes some sort of behavior and some sort of people that, and that's a hard thing, you know, that's a hard pill to swallow if you long for that belonging. And let me just see what else wants to be shared here. And healing really is becoming free of those chains, of those breaking free out of the reins of what is right and what is wrong. And I do believe that that's possible, that's possible for you, that's possible for anyone else. But the most important thing, I think, is to take away from this is to be careful about judging. And I know it's easy to have to ground your identity within this is me and that's you and this is what I view as right, compared to other people. And that, yes, that makes a strong person, but it also, I don't really believe that, but it makes a strong ego, which is sometimes really helpful to, you know, go around in the world, but it doesn't make you a strong soul, basically. So yeah, to take from this is to be really careful with the people around you for judgment. And if you feel like you've judged someone, or you made a very strong, you imposed a very strong belief upon them, it might be helpful to, you know, come back to that person and explain, like, okay, this is what was going on with me, and now I realize this, and you know, have a talk about it, because that releases the harshment of the comment. And I think that's something you can take away for this day that you're watching this, to be really mindful of what and who you are judging, and also really feel that there is a lot of consequence. And I really do believe that if we judge less, there will be less trauma as well, because often the judgment imposes the shame onto someone. Yeah, let me see if there's anything else I want to share about this, or what needs to be shared. Yeah, and the best thing to do that is to, you know, to have an open heart, to have an open mind, to not, you know, eventually God is the one who judges. You don't know what's going on with someone. You don't know why they do the things they do. That's a very private and very big and complex thing. You don't know that.